What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. So it has been a long time since I did a van update. I think it's been like over 3 weeks at this point. So unfortunately, the updates that we've done in the last few weeks have been really small, but they've been meaningful updates to say the least. So in today's video, I wanted to do a quick overview of where we're currently at with things and what to expect in the coming weeks. So let's get started. So here we are in the back of the van, and where we left off last video, I was in the process of installing this flooring, this subflooring. So you can see here we have this is the sandwich layer in the entire van. So we have the van flooring, then we have these studs, within these studs are these foam, and then we have insulation and then the subfloor. So this is what the entire van flooring looks like. Now, over the last few weeks, we've been in the process of really putting this flooring all over the van, which was, I would say, more difficult than I thought it would be. Partially because of the fact that this is the first time we've ever done anything like this. And I think secondly, because we didn't really have the right tools to properly cut plywood into a subfloor layout. You can see behind me is my patio with a circular saw, and that's really where we've been doing all of the cutting and measuring and just all of the real construction so far for the van. And that just doesn't really work. It's been janky and it's proved to be inaccurate sometimes. So we bought some tools yesterday. I'm gonna buy saw horses so that we can properly saw. We also bought a proper circular saw measuring device thing, and so that should help us from here on out. But that made it so that we did make some mistakes in doing the flooring, which we then had to go fix, which of course took longer than it really should have. For example, right here you can see that we did a super good job cutting. It's super flush, it looks great, but then on the other side we kind of screwed it up and there's this big gap which shouldn't be here, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Other than that though, the wood goes all the way across and it feels super sturdy, which I'm super happy with. Don't mind Scout, she is not dead, she is just asleep. Now, one sort of mistake that we did was we didn't add enough supports at the end of the subfloor. So whenever you stepped here, the entire subfloor flexed. So I had to go in and I had to add some more studs underneath here. This is of course something that would have been way easier to do had we have done it initially, because I had to come through here and essentially jam it through. You can kind of see it right there. So those are newly added as of this morning. One mistake we also made was we initially didn't add any studs to this corner, and we realized after the fact that this would cause a whole lot of flexing in the wood. So I had to add this as well, which is currently drying. And you can see here that we also had to add more supports underneath here as well, because this was flexing quite a bit as well. But since we added this, it seems to be significantly sturdier. Additionally, you can see here that we added some foam filler around the gaps. These are gaps that we didn't want to be there, but were also too small to fill in with wood. So that was done this morning as well. And lastly is this headliner piece behind me. For the last, I would say probably a month and a half, 2 months, this has been hanging off of the car and it's been driving me insane. It was something that I couldn't do on my own because it required 2 people, but HP and I did get this fixed and installed over the weekend. So that is done. It is nice and sturdy. It feels good. It feels exactly as it should. So that was good progress as well. So you guys, so that is the progress for today. So you can see the flooring behind me, you can see the headliner, and I know that that isn't a ton of progress, but slow progress is still progress, I hope. The next steps of the project is we have a fan that's going to be installed onto the roof. It's going to be installed up there. And I've actually had that fan for a few months now, we just haven't installed it. And while we're up there, we're going to measure the roof for solar panels. I'm going to be buying a kit like this for the roof, which will give power to the van via solar power, which will connect to the battery. So doing the electrical wiring is going to be the next step of things once the floor is completely finished. Now, before we sign off, I wanted to give you guys some insight as to why this fan project is taking so long. Now, a couple of weeks ago, or it was probably about a month ago now, I made a video, and in that video, I talked about how this project was kind of harder than I expected it to be. And in that video, I got a number of comments from you guys, and they were very nice and thoughtful comments saying, well, maybe you should take a step back. Maybe you're spreading yourself too thin. Maybe you have your hands in too many pots. And I didn't want to give off the impression that that's my mindset to this project, because it's not. I'm really grateful for the the ability to work on this fan project and to have these like really cool things that I'm excited about in motion, which for the most part I'm only able to do because of you guys and because of this YouTube channel. And so I don't want to give off the impression that I'm not enjoying working on this project or that this project is like a tedious task, because that's not the reality of the situation. I'm having a whole lot of fun with this project. It's been a really cool thing to pursue, and I'm super grateful to this YouTube channel and to you guys for the ability to be able to do it, because that's, and the reality, that's the reason why I'm able to do it. But the reason why this project is taking so long really is because of the fact that whenever I came up with the idea to do this, whenever I came up with the idea to buy a van, to document the build-up process, and then to use the van as a business and document that process, whenever I came up with that entire concept, this channel only had 200 subscribers. And the thought process at the time was, let's use this van to grow the channel, and let's use this van to gain notoriety for the channel and to gain subscribers. But at the time, of course, I didn't know that my channel was gonna grow to 32,000 subscribers just a couple of months later. And you guys have subscribed to this channel not for projects like the van, but instead more business-focused content. So as a result, now I don't have as much time as I did over the summer, because now I'm taking YouTube more seriously because my audience has grown. But also, you guys aren't super interested in this content to begin with. And so I'm making this content, I'm like doing this van, but then the van videos consistently perform really poorly. And so that's also been one of the reasons why I just haven't been working on it as much, is because I'm instead working on other videos that get more views. So that's kind of like my mindset with it. So overall, I would say I've just kind of had a mindset shift over the last few months. Whenever I first got the van, the idea was, you know, to work our butts off to get it done as quickly as possible, to produce a ton of content over it, and to really have it be a fixture on the channel. Whereas now it's still something I want to do. I still want to create content on it. I still want it to be a part of this channel, but it's no longer like a primary focus. And instead, I'm more so just kind of taking my time with the project, having fun with it, doing it more so as like a hobby that will ultimately be a business move, instead of just solely a business move that kind of is a hobby, if that makes sense. So overall, that's why this project has taken so long. That's why I haven't been producing videos every week about the van, and ultimately that's why I'm not going to be producing videos every week for the van. So instead of doing weekly videos, they'll probably be monthly, but just know that even if I don't post a video, I am still working on it in the background. There just isn't enough content at that point to publish a video on it. But anyways, you guys, I thought that it would be interesting to do a update, because it's been a while since I did a van update. I wanted to update you guys not only on where we are currently with the van, but also kind of where my thought process is with it as well. But you guys, like always, I would appreciate if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.